afternoon. So colleagues, I'm very happy to see that there's a good representation from our 3 campuses already in here, and several of the groups, and we are very excited to host this and learn more about this National Institute for Theoretical Computational Sciences, Renee. So from us at Northwest University and the Faculty of Natural and Agricultural Sciences to you, and Professor, and I hope I get this right, Professor Francesco Petruccione. Is that close enough? Petruccione.
Perfect. Well done. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. We're very excited to hear what you are going to tell us today. And as you know, our faculty has several entities in mathematics and physics and quantitative sciences that are interested in to hear what this new institute and new network is going to be about. And I'm sure that is the purpose of today's meeting. So although we are virtually connected now, and it's largely warm outside here in Potchefstroom at least, we like to welcome you warmly and to tell us about this new development. And thanks for inviting us to host this also, Renee, to listen to what you're going to say. So with that, I'm sure, unless Renee wants to add anything else, I will introduce Professor Francesco now to introduce this new initiative.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity to be with you this afternoon. Yeah. So my name is Francesco Petruccione, and your pronunciation was perfect. So thank you very much for that. I'm at the moment, or since just above a year, the interim director of NITheCS, and I was sort of given the mandate by DSI to implement the transition between NITheP, the National Institute for Theoretical Physics, and this new institute, NITheCS, the National Institute for Theoretical and Computational Sciences. Yeah? And as you see, we don't have yet a logo for the new institute, but that's one of the things that we hope that at the first steering committee meeting of the new institute, which would happen sometime in July now, it will be approved, and then we will start a branding campaign as well. I will quickly share my screen now and share with you a little bit the reason why we are here today. Yeah. And because maybe not everybody might be 100% familiar with NITheP, the National Institute for Theoretical Physics, I start with a little bit of history to put it in context, and then I will share with you the vision and mission and the strategy to implement this new institute. Maybe, sorry, before I start, just you might be interested, you know, my main job is that I'm a professor of theoretical physics at UKZN, and I'm also one of the SARCI chairs in quantum information processing and communication. Yeah? And in the 20% of my time is now devoted to setting up NITheCS. Yeah. So, but let's start with a bit of history. Back in 2004, yeah, more than 15 years ago, the then DST, NRF, and the South African Institute of Physics commissioned a report on the state and the future of physics in South Africa. Yeah? And this international panel that was appointed made one recommendation to set up a national theoretical physics facility, yeah, because it recognized that not enough was done to support theoretical physics in the country, and you know, and the return on investment in theoretical physics is probably very big, because it doesn't require any hardware, any expensive hardware of that sort. And this recommendation explains why we have national in the name. Yeah. Sorry, what happened? Here we go. Voila. So this was the reason to start NITheP, and it took 4 years until beginning of 2008, when NITheP was officially launched and became the sort of the home for all theoretical physics activities in the country. Yeah. NITheP was born as a nodes, as a network institute, yeah, with 3 nodes. There is a main contractual node at the University of Stellenbosch. There is a node at UKZN where I'm based, and there is a node in Gauteng at WITS. Yeah. One comment that I will do at this stage, because it affects the historical trajectory, is that although we have national and institute in the name, after a short while, NRF decided to administer NITheP as a center of excellence. Yeah? And as you probably all know, center of excellence have unfortunately a sunset clause, yeah, that kicks in after 15 years. Yeah? And this is what happened then to NITheP as well. Yeah? We were faced with probably a year or 2 years ago with quite an uncertain future, because it was not so clear that some kind of plan for a sustainable future could be realized. Yeah? But the plan is here, and that's what I will talk about today. Yeah. So the old NITheP, yeah, and with old NITheP I mean until essentially the end of last year, because only at the beginning of this year the minister approved the concept of NITheCS and gave us the go ahead for the implementation. Yeah. So NITheP over the years was always placed among the 3 top physical sciences institutions in Africa, according to the various rankings. Yeah? Over the years, we produced around 800 papers, yeah? Most of them in Q1 journals. Yeah? Very interesting is that roughly just under 2/3 of all theoretical physics postgraduate students in South Africa have some relationship with NITheP, yeah? Either because they received a scholarship from NITheP, or because they were supervised by some NITheP associate. Yeah? Over the same period, we produced well above 200 masters and PhD students with a very great, very positive success rate, and so on and so forth. Yeah? And up to the end of last year, we had a network of roughly 90 associates. I will say a little bit more about that just now. Yeah. So this is the snapshot of the associates before the transition to NITheCS started, and I will say something about the new associates just now. So we had roughly, let's say, 80 individual associates and a dozen strategic, institutional, and junior associates. So this was the typical dimensions of the institute. Yeah, one weak point of NITheP that has been criticized a little bit over the years is that the demographics of the network of associates was not really representative of the demographics of the country as you see here. Yeah, so that one of the hopes of the new institute, or probably one of the musts of the new institute, is that this demographic profile needs to improve considerably. Yeah. Over the years, I said we have a very nice bursary program. Yeah, and typically every year we support around 30 students. You can see from this graph that the last couple of years there was a little bit of a dip because of the uncertain future of the institute, and at some stage we were also faced with some really serious financial challenges. Yeah, so that's why there was a little dip, but now we are picking up again. Yeah. So the distribution, the demographics of the bursary holders is of course way more healthy. Yeah, it's probably not yet optimal. Yeah, but it's a clear indication that we are doing the right things to achieve the goals on the medium and long term. Yeah. What is also interesting is where the bursaries goes, and you see we have This is a snapshot of the bursaries of last year. Yeah, we had bursary students at scholarship students at roughly, I think it's exactly 10 universities. Yeah, and Northwest University was also represented with one student supported. Yeah, you know, you shouldn't be too worried about this snapshot where, for instance, UCT got 8 bursaries and you only got 1. You know, this was just the you know, there's always an element of randomness in allocating bursaries, and in other years the distribution was different. Yeah. So another very interesting program that NITheP has had over the years, and since last year we moved it also online, is the internship program, yeah, where we address mainly honor students and offer them to do an internship in theoretical physics and soon in theoretical and computational sciences at some other institution supervised by a NITheP or NITheCS associates. And this is the pool of students that did the internship in the last summer. Yeah. Since the pandemic, we also moved all our activities online. Yeah, not just this roadshow event, but every Monday we have a colloquium, Monday afternoon. We have webinars. Every month we host a mini school, typically every Tuesday afternoon, or every month it's on a different topic. And you can see that last year we achieved really nice numbers of views, yeah, and we hope to top it this year as well. And all these webinars are recorded, almost all, yeah, because we have to ask the speaker. Most of them are always happy to share it in public. You find them all on our YouTube channel. You just go to YouTube and you search for NITheCS, and you will find probably now close to hundreds of videos. Yeah, and we are really very happy that you see we have already 700 subscribers. Yeah, so hopefully soon we will start earning money just to have videos on YouTube. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. One thing that we also did last year is we relaunched the NITheP website. So if you surf to the NITheP website, you will be automatically redirected to the new NITheCS website, and the address is nithecs.ac.za. And we are really trying to develop this website into a useful tool for the new theoretical and computational sciences community. Yeah, so please, if you've never been on the website, just surf there, and please let us have your feedback, because we really would like to make it into a very useful tool for the community. NITheP, last year we experimented with a few new concepts that will be relevant for the new institute, and we issued calls for research programs. Yeah, and so at the moment we are supporting a research program essentially in computational material science. This is the first one. One in theoretical and computational astrophysics foundation for the HIRAX experiment. That is also a radio astronomy project close to the SKA. Yeah, we have a very interesting program on modeling for genomic contract tracing, and this is also a theoretical and computational research program. We have almost a mandatory machine learning program, yeah, that attracts lots of interest at the moment. We have a program in big data science for nuclear physics, and we started what is now called a South African Theory School, but soon it will be then called a South African Theory and Computational School, yeah? More in line with the name of the new institute. And the idea of this school is to start collecting on the website educational and training materials aimed in this first stage at honor students. Yeah? So we have already a pool of colleagues that are happy to share all their instructional materials on the website. Yeah? But of course, you know, it's important to do the remark that NITheP did not award any degrees, yeah, and nor will NITheCS, yeah, award any degrees. So even if we share educational and training materials, it will be up to the universities to if they decide to adopt them to make sure that the students get the credits that they deserve and award the respective degrees. That's not the mandate of NITheCS, and we don't want to become a competitor to the universities. Last year, we also started, and this is something that we'll probably have to do more, to apply directly as NITheCS for funding. Yeah. And we've shown that this is possible. Yeah? So in future, we will aim at doing more direct applications for funding as an institute. Yeah. So now, this was in a snapshot, in a nutshell, for those of you that might not be familiar with NITheP, what NITheP achieved. Yeah? So now the road ahead. Yeah? At the beginning of this year, as I mentioned, the minister approved the concept of NITheCS and gave us the mandate to start the transition, yeah, to implement the roadmap from NITheP to NITheCS. So that's what we are doing at the moment. Yeah, NITheP is still in existence because legally at the moment we still have only NITheP. Yeah, but we started the process of developing all the contractual issues to make NITheCS a reality in the order of magnitude of a year. Yeah, I will say something more detailed about that just now. So I mentioned that at the beginning of the year, this roadmap for transitioning from NITheP to NITheCS was approved by the minister. And if you want to give a look at it in more detail, you will find it on the NITheCS website. If you want a hard copy, let us know. We can courier it to you. Yeah. So the basic idea. let me start by illustrating the process that led to the decision of starting this new institute. Yeah. When it became evident that because of NITheP being administered as a center of excellence, that there was a problem coming and hitting us hard, yeah, which was the sunset clause of certain of centers of excellence. In discussion with DSI and NRF, a kind of a concept document was developed with the rough idea of a bigger institute. You know, if you can't survive small, sometimes the strategy is you have to go big, and maybe you can survive then. Yeah. So then a kind of a town hall meeting was held where stakeholders from various backgrounds were invited. Out of it, DSI appointed an expert working group, which comprised various representatives of the disciplines that will end up being part of NITheCS, and a task team. And the task team was essentially members of the NITheP management committee and Dr. Happy Siptole from the CHPC. Yeah. So the first output of these two teams, yeah, was a document that that proved the scientific case for NITheCS. Yeah? So the first hurdle was to demonstrate that it makes sense from a scientific point of view to have an institution like NITheCS in the country. Yeah? After this hurdle was successfully passed, the next milestone was to develop a roadmap. Yeah. And this was the job of the expert working group, and I, as the interim director of NITheCS, yeah, brought in sort of the historical memory of NITheP and and maybe the experience of what works and what doesn't work, yeah? At least as far as possible. Yeah. So, and this is the roadmap that was eventually approved a few months ago. I think it was February or March or something like that. Yeah. So, the roadmap, of course, clearly defines the vision and mission of the new institute. And I won't read it here. You probably have already read it while I'm talking. Yeah. But the crucial point is that it was realized that NITheCS needs to be grounded on 4 pillars. Yeah. Of course, there is the obvious ones, research and training, yeah, but also the Africa pillar. Yeah? So, and this is the realization that NITheCS should be an institute that addresses challenges and problems and to contribute to the socio-economic development of South Africa first, and then of the African continent. So we want really to be embedded in our reality. And the 4th pillar is engagement. Yeah, and engagement means engagement with all possible stakeholders. Yeah, from the learners in high school that we need to convince to study theoretical computational sciences, yeah, to their parents that need to also be convinced, to policymakers, industry, and so on and so forth. So, and this is also, you know, they're all connected, yeah, because we want to address relevant problems, and, you know, and relevant problems emerge only if you engage with all relevant stakeholders, and so on and so forth. Yeah? So this is the vision and mission and the pillars of NITheCS. Yeah. What is probably also very interesting for you is now which disciplines will NITheCS take care of. Yeah, and this is just an illustration, cut and paste from the roadmap. Yeah, so you see we had theoretical physics was already by default in NITheCS. Astronomy and astrophysics is also now officially part of NITheCS. There were already representatives of astronomy and astrophysics in NITheP, because, you know, the cutting the borders between one discipline and the other is not so, it's not so well defined. Yeah. But the brand new disciplines are now other basic sciences, yeah, mathematics, statistics, data science, as well as the theoretical and computational aspects of biology, of Earth system and climate modeling, and quantitative finance. These are the disciplines that emerged out of the expert working group and the many discussions. Now, which does not mean that in future there might be more that will be added. Yeah? Of course, NITheCS is not operating in a vacuum. Yeah? There are already many other centers, institutes, and labs that are dedicated to the support of some of the disciplines that are crucial to NITheCS. Yeah? And so, and that's why we already engaged with discussion with all of them, because we want to find a kind of a synergistic way to promote the sciences together and not to fight each other. Yeah, so it's not about that. Yeah, one institution will definitely play a central role, and this is the CHPC, together with Teresa and Sanren and all of NITheCS, if you want. Yeah, because now we have computational in the name, and you know, and all our hardware, yeah, will be based at the CHPC. You know, NITheCS does not plan to buy expensive computer hardware or things like that. This will all be done in collaboration with the CHPC. Yeah? And of course, you know, I didn't list them here explicitly, but most of the research is of course done at the universities. And that's why we have today this roadshow, because we need to get you involved in NITheCS as soon as possible. Yeah. I sort of prefer to the graphical representation of the discipline in something like this, yeah, which is not a perfect illustration because my graphic abilities are not so good. Yeah, but the point that I want to make in this representation is that, you know, I think the hard work of setting up NITheCS will be in creating the environment that these different disciplines start not only speaking to each other, but doing things together. Yeah, because we really want to address relevant grand challenges. Yeah, and most of them are interdisciplinary. Yeah, so there are problems that one discipline on its own might not be able to address, and that's the role that we envisage also for NITheCS, to be the kind of a facilitator for interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary, multidisciplinary research activities that will allow us two things: one, to maybe to address the big challenges, and two, also to join forces to attract funding. Yeah, so that you know, all the big challenges come with big funding. Yeah, and if we address those and together apply for funding, we might be able to increase the financial resources of NITheCS considerably. From a practical point of view, of course, the roadmap sketches also the governance structure, and you see it's not particularly original. It's like it would be expected. Yeah, we've just put in place the steering committee, but it still has to meet for the first time, and it will happen probably in the second half of July. After which there will be a scientific advisory board will be appointed. At the moment, we have an interim management. Yeah. And after the first meeting of the steering committee, the search for the permanent director will start, and then all the permanent structures will be put in place. Yeah? The real work of NITheCS will be done in the nodes. Yeah? At the moment, we have 3, as I indicated, in Stellenbosch, at WITS, at UKZN, and in my vision, yeah, is that I would like to see in a first stage to the establishment of at least one node in every province, yeah, so that we can really make the name proud, national work in the institute. Of course, you know, in a long-term vision, there might be a node in every university that would be equally fine. Yeah, but as an intermediate step, aiming at having a node in every province will already be a big achievement. Yeah, much bigger than what NITheP ever did. Yeah. The not so secret weapon of NITheP was the network of associates, and this is what we are trying to extend now, yeah, to the other disciplines. So I hope that after this presentation we will receive many applications to become associates of NITheCS from your university. Yeah? The new element that was not really part of NITheP, we played with it last year just to check the concept, is the concept of focus areas. Yeah? So once we have recruited a critical number of non-theoretical physics associates, yeah? We will issue a call, hopefully in a month or so, yeah? For focus areas. Yeah? And these are the big research programs where we want to address big challenges that really make a difference and have an impact. Yeah, so this is the focus area is essentially a little bit the glue maybe that will keep together all the disciplines and allow them to work together. Okay, these are the reporting lines. It may be not so exciting. Yeah. So after the roadmap was approved, I think that was in March this year. We started developing a very practical implementation plan, yeah, to transition from NITheP to NITheCS. So at the moment we are probably bang in the transition phase, and hopefully the foundational phase will start now after the first meeting of the steering committee. Yeah. From a very practical point of view, these are some of the tasks that that we need to accomplish before the new institute can be launched. Hopefully, sometimes in maybe March next year or something like that. Yeah, so you see at the moment there is an interim director. We have a representative of the various disciplines in the interim steering committee. The steering committee has been appointed but has not yet met. After that, we will start the selection of a director of the advisory board and so on and so forth. Yeah, so there's a really list of steps that need to be taken. Yeah, this is the Gantt chart. Kind of present. I simplified it a little bit for presentation purposes from the roadmap. Yeah, and you see the roadmap was planning to launch NITheCS in February, March 2023. Yeah, and as all very good plans. And the fate of all very good and detailed plans is that they have to change very rapidly because of a constraint that nobody really took care of, which was that the current contract with NITheP and DSI ends in March 2022. Yeah, so that the consequence of this is that the DSI asked us kindly to speed up the procedure. And make sure that the new contract that needs to be in place will be the NITheCS contract. Yeah, so that the plan now is to launch NITheCS fully fledged with all legal aspects sorted out in less than a year from now. So sometimes in March next year. So that's the plan. Yeah. So you see that there are some steps that so NITheP as NITheP will survive until February, March 2022, and of course the recruitment of associates will be an ongoing process. Yeah? And soon this phase 2 will start, where we will start looking for a permanent director and so on and so forth. Yeah, so that probably in the next couple of months, many things will happen to achieve the goal of launching NITheCS in March 2023, if possible. Yeah. So just for your information, who was part of which team? Yeah, the task team. There were representatives when we started. It was DST. Yeah, Dr. Adams, Dr. Moodley. There were representatives of NRF, Dr. Kati and Dr. Sussman, and then there were the members of the management of NITheP. Myself, Professor Friedrich Scholz, who was the director of NITheP until just above a year ago, and now Professor Müller-Nedebock in Stellenbosch is one of the deputy directors, and at WITS, Joao Rodriguez. And Dr. Happy Sitole from the CHPC was sort of coerced to be part of the team because of his because of the role that the CHPC will play. Yeah. The expert working group, I won't list all the names. You probably recognize most of them, and you definitely know some of the people. Yeah? And the expert working group was headed and coordinated by Professor Igle Gledkill, who is now based at WITS. So essentially, there were 2 representatives of each discipline, yeah, that worked in the expert working group. Yeah. So now, this is now a snapshot of where NITheCS is now. Yeah, since we started probably a month or 6 weeks ago to recruit new associates after this when we started this program of roadshows. Yeah. Of course, we transitioned all the theoretical physicists from NITheP to NITheCS, and in order to have a mechanism in place, we asked them to send us an updated version of their CV and to state clearly that they're still interested in being part of the network of associates. Yeah. In doing so, we've recruited. We lost a few because in the pool of NITheP associates there were some colleagues that retired and moved on and works overseas, and But we've recruited another, I think, a dozen new theoretical physicists, and we have recruited already around 25 new associates from the other disciplines. Yeah? My hope is that that soon we will have at least half of the associates not from theoretical physicists. Yeah, so that's why please I encourage you to apply very soon, and because this will mean that the character of the institute is changing very rapidly. Yeah, is changing very rapidly, and that is very good. So yeah. So why should you be interested in becoming a NITheCS associate? The associates, as I mentioned, are really the secret weapon of NITheCS, yeah? Because they are the people that do the research, that supervise the students, do the training, the teaching, the engagement, and ultimately help us address the problems of our society. Yeah? We have a few categories of associates. Yeah, the standard category is the individual associate. In NITheP, we introduced the category of junior associate, and we will do it in NITheCS as well. And I will say something about each category just now. We have also institutional associates, where, for instance, some of the institutions that I had on one of the slides that also support some of the disciplines that NITheCS supports might want to become institutional associates of NITheP, just to keep the communication all open and to synchronize activities. Yeah? And also we have a category of strategic associates. Yeah? This could be people that maybe are not exactly working in one of the 8 disciplines, but might have a role to facilitate certain things. So how do you become an associate? You know, it's very important to us to keep things as lean as possible. Yeah. So the minimum requirements that we expect is to have a PhD in one of the relevant disciplines. Then we ask you to send us your recent CV. And maybe a short expression of interest in which you tell us why you think that you fit in NITheCS. And another important requirement is that in the category of individual associates, we expect you to be a member of staff at a South African university or research institution. Yeah, and if you qualify, if you tick all these boxes, please send us an email, either directly to Rene, or we have also an email address, info@nithecs.ac.za, and in the shortest possible time, we will send you then a letter that certifies that you're now a NITheCS associate. I mentioned the category of junior associates, and in the discussion so sorry, let me start this way. Traditionally, and this in this blue box, yeah, this was the original NITheP junior associate category. Yeah? These were essentially young members of staff at a university, typically maybe a lecturer who has completed his or her master's, but doesn't have yet a PhD. Yeah? And for these people, we created this category of junior associates, and we had kind of mentorship program to assist them in whatever ways possible and necessary to be successful in their academic career. Yeah? In some of the roadshows these last few weeks, yeah, the point was made, which I think is really very useful, yeah? That this is not the only category of junior people that that we should support in letting them become associated with NITheCS. So there is also another category of people. These are the people that have a PhD, but are postdocs. Yeah. So and we should take care of them as well. Yeah, because these are also a very important group of young people that have essentially decided to start an academic career, and we should support them to be successful. So roughly the junior associate category is just for people that either they have a job and no PhD, or they have a PhD and don't have no job, yeah, or no permanent job. Yeah, so this is the category where we hope to attract also lots of young people and buy them to the institute. Yeah. Of course, you're probably interested to see what's in it for you, for the associates. Yeah. Of course, NITheCS is here to support all your activities. Yeah, we will have dedicated calls to organize workshop, conferences, seminars, schools, training events, engagement events, visitors programs, and so on and so forth. Yeah, of course, at the moment, most of these activities will be online. Yeah, that's why we will have also calls for the focus areas and research programs and internships and so on and so forth. Yeah. We have, I mentioned earlier, the scholarship program that is ongoing. Yeah. And of course, what NITheCS also will offer is the network of associates. Yeah? So we will, I think that's the biggest challenge. Yeah? How do we bring 8 disciplines to speak to each other and start to know each other and start to work together. So we are exploring possibilities to make this happen now, even under our lockdown conditions. Yeah? Yeah, so this is in a nutshell what I wanted to share with you. And sorry, I think I spoke a little bit longer than I planned, and I'm very happy to take your questions. And the webinar is the seminar is set up as a meeting, so everybody has the right to speak. Just raise your hand and go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. Francesco. Just a word of thanks from us. It's very insightful and exciting to see all the developments and what's happening and all the hard work behind the scenes to get this off the ground and make this better and bigger and strengthen science in South Africa. So thank you very much for telling us about these opportunities. I'm opening the floor to questions. Anybody who has a question for Prof. Francesco, please just go ahead, jump in and ask your question.
And even if you have comments, yeah, you know, we try to do what we think is best, but you know that sometimes it's not the best. Yeah, so we are very grateful for all kind of feedback. Yeah, you know, I mentioned as an example the website. Yeah. We constantly receive suggestions of how things can be done better on the website, and sometimes it's just really simple things like the link should be here and not there. Yeah? So all big and little things that you give us feedback, we are very grateful for. Yeah.
I think there's a great idea on the chat. I also was thinking to do this. Amari, would you mind to be put on the spot and just tell us a little bit about your interactions and experiences over the past few years with NITheP and now NITheCS, and about the online school maybe that you're also part of, the theoretical school?
Yeah. Sorry, is the question to me?
No, sorry. I'm asking Amari. Maybe.
Yeah. Sorry, I was not sure.
If he wants to, but you can also add comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you indeed put me on the spot.
You can handle it, I'm sure.
Yeah, since I had been junior associates in about 2016 or so, okay. I have had the opportunity to attend meetings, get insight into what's happening in the theoretical physics community, and I even had the opportunity to provide a student funded through the internship and so on. But I have to say that there were also more other opportunities that I could have made use of, like applying for funds and all that. But for reasons usually that have to do with deadlines and all that, I never had the opportunity to apply for such grants. but I could have made use of those as well.
Yeah, but
so yeah, there are
those opportunities recur.
Yeah.
So you're
Yes.
welcome.
Yeah.
To
I'm
apply
talking
again.
about the past. Yes.
Yeah. No.
But
That's
in the future,
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and you know, one thing that we learned as NITheCS during the last year of living online, that there is really a big merit in keeping things simple and efficient. Yeah, so that you know, we try to be as lean as an organization as possible. Yeah, and to keep bureaucracy to a limit, to the lowest possible level. Yeah, because resources are limited. Yeah, so we don't want to have big overheads. Yeah, we want most of the funding of NITheCS to go back to the researchers. Yeah, and to the students. Yeah, and that's why we try to keep systems as lean as possible. Yeah. And and we, behind the scenes, we try to put in place the systems that allow you to run a big and complex organization as NITheCS with as little people as possible. Yeah, and and Rene and I don't know if Nelly is here, and Farah, who are the three administrative people behind the scenes. Yeah. We use now all sorts of online tools to make life easy. Yeah. Yeah, and as things go on, we will share them with the associates as well. Yeah. No, but thank you, Amare, for being a NITheP and NITheCS supporter. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Also, I also can mention we had some students who obtained bursaries through this program, which is very good. It's gives them a wider idea of what's going on in the country, because they have to go to a bursary conference and then explain their own work in context. So that is very good. But I'm excited to see all the multidisciplinary and cross-disciplinary opportunities that are coming up. I can imagine if, from an astrophysics type of viewpoint, if you can make friends with statisticians and with computational physicists and with even biologists and chemists and so on, that can really broaden one's horizons. And this is a perfect opportunity of the confluence of different fields.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the aim. No, that's exactly what we want to achieve. Yeah.
That's very good. Let's see, is there anybody else who wants to raise a hand or a question? Any comment? You're very welcome. It's a very open forum. It's not formal at any level.
No, it's not formal at all. Yeah.
And I've been to STIAS as well. That's the place in Stellenbosch where we've had some meetings and so on. So you do have these visits for researchers, right? They can book an office and they can come and do research and talk to each other. Well, yes, non-COVID times, of course.
But yeah, no, now it's a little bit challenging, but hopefully the time will come back as soon as we are all vaccinated. Yeah, but the visitors program was never only bound to visits taking place in Stellenbosch. Yeah, we always also supported, for instance, if you want to invite a visitor to the Northwest University, there is no problem in doing that. Yeah, when we issue. We didn't issue those calls now because, I don't want to be responsible for the next super spreader event. Yeah, but as soon as we see that that it becomes possible, we will make it happen again. Yeah, and
that's good news.
So you're most and welcome. Yeah, and
some mobility grants and things like that.
Yes. We support. For instance, just as an example, this year we had a very large number of internship students. Yeah, you saw the slide. Yeah, and the internships were online. Yeah, and they were just allocated to supervisors across the country. Yeah, many in Port Elizabeth. Professor Zwindini Murunga is one of our supervisors for internships. Yeah, but then we decided, since the students did a good job, they wanted to present their results at the SIRP conference. Yeah? So now we made the effort to support their registration fees for the SIP conference. Yeah, so those things we can also speak about. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and incidentally, the NWU is hosting the SIP this year, so that
yeah,
is
no,
very
I know that you will get lots of our students there. Yeah, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. No,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah.
So,
And
sorry, speaking of the
yeah,
internship, is it still open?
Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, the internship is still open. Yeah. No, you know, the internship typically always takes place when the lectures end. Yeah. So Rene will issue calls just now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to suggest some of my students.
Okay. Excellent. We will be in touch. Yeah. Yeah. No problem.
And I also remember that we had some good outreach. There was a conference in Stellenbosch thereabouts, and I know your office also were very involved in getting high school people involved in talking to big astronomers from all over the world. So that is a very good plus, and there's a little bit for everybody.
Yeah, no, you know, we tried last year and this year to do outreach events online with schools, yeah, but it turned out to be quite challenging for many reasons, as you can imagine. Yeah. You know, during the school time, they tell you they are all busy, they don't have time for Zoom meetings. And when the school is over, you don't find them anymore. Yeah. So it was a little bit challenging, but we keep working on it, and maybe sometime we will find the right formula. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. Very good. So I don't see any questions from the colleagues.
Okay.
Well, one more final question
yes,
to
please.
Francesco.
Please.
Yeah, the issue of affiliations in publications. I think I raised this in one of previous meetings as well.
Okay.
For example, someone at NWU, how will they put their address into?
Yeah, no, sorry, that's a good question I forgot to mention. Yeah, no, you know, we are grateful if the associates indicate the NITheCS affiliation on their publications. Yeah, but as NITheP and as NITheCS now, yeah, we won't claim any subsidies from the Department of Higher Education and Training. Yeah, so those you will get from your university as usual. Yeah, you know, for us it's only important to be able to demonstrate that the network of associates produces research output. Yeah, because that's one of our KPIs. Yeah, every year when we report back to DSI and NRF, we need to show them that we were active in research. Yeah? And the only way we can do it is by listing publications that have the NITheCS address on the publication. Yeah? But we don't claim contributions to publications from the Department of Higher Education. That you can claim through your university as usual. Yeah? We don't do that. Yeah. And we are not planning to change that because it would become quickly very, very challenging. Yeah.
So it's like a second affiliation. It's a second address.
Yes. No, if you publish a paper and you know, and NITheCS, you want to acknowledge NITheCS, just put under your affiliation also NITheCS, National Institute of Theoretical and Computational Sciences, and that's it. Yeah. Okay. And that makes it easy.
Okay, but you still need to indicate your physical address. Should I indicate my home university's physical address or
yes.
The one in Stellenbosch or what?
No. You can indicate your Northwest University, the faculty of so and so, yeah, and NITheCS, National Institute for Theoretical and Computational Sciences, South Africa. Yeah, and that will be all right. Yeah. Now, because then at least we can fish those publications out of Web of Knowledge, of Scopus or Google Scholar, and put them in our reports. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, and also another thing where we would be very grateful. You know, we started also since COVID. Every month to send out a newsletter to all associates and to everybody. Yeah, everybody can subscribe to the newsletter. Yeah, and we try to to profile in every newsletter researchers and their publications. Yeah. So if there is a paper that you are very proud of, just email it to us, and we are happy to profile it in one of the next newsletters. Yeah, that would be very nice. Yeah.
Mm.
You know, we monitor the databases, but you know, if the author knows best, yeah, what is interesting and what is not, and you're welcome to email me, Rene or Nelly, and make us aware of the publication. And you're also welcome to write a little description in maybe not technical terms to advertise it. Yeah, that would be very nice. Yeah.
Mm.
And also another thing, sorry, another appeal. You know, we have this colloquium every week. Yeah, please assist us in suggesting speakers. Yeah, or if you want to volunteer yourself. Yeah, please let us know. And you know, we have always slots that are available. Yeah, and in fact, it will make our life easier if volunteers approach us. Yeah, we have also the mini school every month. Yeah, if you want to share a short school of, let's say, 4 afternoons, please get in touch with us, and we can organize. I think we have planned mini schools up to August. So we are still looking for September, October, and November for this year. So if you have suggestions, please let us know, and we can start a discussion and prepare it. Yeah.
Very good, very good. So let me give one last chance for any question or comment. I don't see any hands or any mics opening. So, oh, there's one. Yes.
Yes,
Please
mine
go.
is just a comment. I really appreciate the presentation and the details, and I am very much willing to be a research associate and to join NITheCS with my research group, and I'm looking forward for a successful collaboration.
Excellent. Thank you. Then we are waiting for your email.
Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah, I hope we can send a few emails to your side. Thank
Yes,
you very, very much. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. So let me close the meeting then. People can always send you emails to Renee, to yourself, to NITheCS, and I'm sure you will be very quick in answering, as you always do. So thank you very, very much for the time you took. And thank you for the very interesting presentation and all the opportunities that people can think on and think on how to network even better and access some funding. So we appreciate your time and thank you very, very much.
No, and thank you for hosting us today. Thank you very much. That's really
Thanks,
nice.
Renee.
Thank you very much, everyone. Keep well, stay safe.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
bye.
everyone. Keep well, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.